Thank you all for joining us today as we analyze various elements of George Orwell's 1984. Let me begin by introducing you to our main character, Winston Smith. This guy is a complete moron. An oxymoron. His name consists of words that are opposite. In this case, they are unique and common. An oxymoron is a figure of speech that combines contradictory ideas. Our example here is the living dead. Though they are technically dead, they give the appearance of being animated as they search for delicious brains! Next, we have symbolism. In the book, we chose the paperweight to symbolize the past frozen in time. We can think of the coral as a piece of history protected against time by the glass. Symbolism is defined as being a person, thing, and so on that stands for itself or something beyond itself. In real life, we have the Facebook wall, which contains your past frozen in a multitude of meaningless status updates. Paradox is an apparent contradiction in statements or situations that are actually true. The Ministry of Love is an example of this. Their name alludes to a seemingly pleasant place, but their actions speak otherwise. Another example of this is the phrase fighting for peace. The action of fighting is committed in the name of peace. Up next, we have a totalitarian government, which is a system of government that advocates the rule of an absolute dictator or a single political party. This can be seen in the use of telescreens to monitor and control the citizens of Oceania. From this, we are able to draw parallels to the use of security cameras in our lives. These can be used as a monitoring tool, but also as a deterrent to crime. Pulling this term straight out of the book, we have doublethink. It means to simultaneously hold and believe two contradictory opinions. In the book, Winston struggled with the idea that 2 + 2 = 5. Though he knew it was not true, he could not help but give in and agree with O'Brien. This idea may be present in the minds of drug addicts. Even though they know that drugs are bad for them, they also know that they will feel better once they take it. Newspeak is the official language of Oceania. It even has its own dictionary that meets the needs of Ingsoc. An example of a Newspeak term is ungood, meaning bad. Some of you may have heard of the phrases thought or on fleek, which are slang words used today. Orwellian can be described as any words, phrases, or pictures that bring to mind the writing of George Orwell. This is illustrated when the telescreen behind the picture of St. Clement's Church is revealed. This event is Orwellian because the reader knows that the thought police have been listening in on their scandalous conversations. Orwellian can also be seen in the interception of phone calls that is very possible to this day. Any information, ideas, or rumors that are deliberately spread widely to help or harm a person, group, or nation is known as propaganda. Propaganda is used in the book to idolize Big Brother through posters and by being broadcasted on the telescreens. Infomercials are a great example of propaganda as they are used to promote products and convince consumers to purchase them. The theme we chose was loyalty. Loyalty strengthens the bonds between the groups that are involved. This can be seen in the proles' loyalty to one another and in the party members' loyalty to Big Brother. Verbal irony occurs when what is said ends up being something that is unexpected. For example, the 3 slogans of the party all end with the word that we don't typically pair with their counterparts: war and peace, freedom and slavery, and ignorance and strength. Situational irony occurs when something happens that is unexpected. It is ironic that Julia, being in the anti-sex league, actually has had sex with multiple party members. When writers say something explicitly, it is said directly in the book. For example, Winston said explicitly that he was hungry with a, quote, gnawing, unwholesome kind of hunger. We could infer that Mr. Charrington was a member of the thought police. An inference is a conclusion based on evidence and reasoning, and the evidence for this claim is the clock in his upstairs room, lack of a telescreen, and knowledge of information that would have gotten him vaporized. The author's choice to write the book in 3 parts allowed him to establish the story and conflict, put the main character into a difficult situation and bring the story to a close. In the book, Big Brother embodies the party, as Hitler represented the Nazi Party. Moving on, Emmanuel Goldstein was considered the enemy of the state in Oceania. Today, many people see the terrorist group ISIS as the enemy of the state. The first slogan of the party, "War is Peace," demonstrates how people are at peace when they are at war with a common enemy. In the book, the 2 Minutes Hate brings the party together against Goldstein. We can see this today in sports. People are brought together to cheer on their team as they play against the opposition. The second slogan, "Ignorance is Strength," was seen as the ignorance of the people made the party more powerful. Their knowledge was controlled by the party, which allowed them to control their thoughts. This was the case when the Nazi Party was in power and were able to sway their people's opinions in opposition of Jewish people. Lastly, freedom is slavery occurs when people are given freedom and are enslaved by their feelings. In the book, if people are free to think their own thoughts, they become slaves to their own emotions, which will cause them to weaken the party. Freedom within the people may mean the downfall of the party. In real life, we have wealthy people who have financial freedom, but become enslaved by their vanity, spending habits, or even the paper itself.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Op, op, op.